Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief. Today, nominally, we are talking about a pair of vibe coding app announcements, Google's Gemini CLI and Anthropic's new vibe coding tools that are embedded directly in Claude. But really what we're talking about is just the utter explosion in vibe coding as a phenomenon, as a pursuit, as something people are building around, and as a tool unlocking new opportunity. It's kind of hard to believe this, given how ubiquitous this term is now, but it's been about 5 months or so since we got this term. Back on February 2nd, former OpenAI co-founder Andrej Karpathy tweeted, "There's a new kind of coding I call vibe coding, where you fully give into the vibes, embrace exponentials, and forget that the code even exists. It's possible because the LLMs are getting too good." He then goes on to describe his process of just talking to the code, using English as the programming language, and how to navigate different types of challenges in this new environment. Now, vibe coding went from this thing that Andrej was talking about to the term encompassing all of the text-to-code apps and both new ways of working for existing software engineers as well as this force that was bringing non-coders into the coding space. From not existing back in January to being twice as searched as compared to prompt engineering just a couple months later, vibe coding hit the cultural consciousness very, very quickly. Now, there were, even before the term, some apps that were unlocking new capabilities. Bolt had exploded onto the scene, Lovable was growing super fast, and of course, Cursor was getting more and more dominant. Now, those trends have done nothing but increase. A couple of weekends ago, Lovable, for example, held a global hackathon that saw more than 250,000 different apps built with their tools. CEO Antonio Sico pointed out that that was more than the first 5 years of the internet. Every day, if you go on X, you can find stories of kids vibe coding, basically everyone vibe coding. And so perhaps it isn't surprising that vibe coding is also rewiring and impacting an incredibly wide array of applications. Yesterday, we talked about how Airtable was really, in its own words, refounding itself, as they put it, an AI-native app platform combining the magic of vibe coding business apps with real production readiness and scalability. On the same day, Asana launched their competing AI studio, something they described as a no-code builder for designing AI-powered workflows to handle routine tasks tailored to your organization. Again, the point is that these are not new vibe coding platforms that are launching. These are existing legacy tools that are embedded in the enterprise that are rewiring themselves around vibe coding capabilities. Ramp also recently shared this chart showing how much market share Cursor had taken from GitHub Copilot, just further reinforcing how this new set of vibe code native tools was really changing the way that people were interacting with code. Which brings us up to yesterday's announcements. At this point, the AI coding announcements are rolling out faster than I can even cover them, and this is a daily show. Yesterday, we saw dueling announcements from two of the big players. Google debuted their agentic Gemini CLI, which is the most approximate to, for example, Codex from OpenAI or Anthropic's Claude Code. The Verge writes, Google has launched a new open source AI agent that brings Gemini's coding, content generation, and research capabilities directly into developers' terminals. And while going through the command line is a little more lightweight than full IDEs like Cursor, this approach remains a programming staple. To stand out in what is quickly becoming a very crowded market, Google is leveraging its scale to compete aggressively on price. Specifically, Gemini CLI is being offered for free. Usage limits are set at 60 queries per minute and 1,000 per day. And if you're worried that that's not going to be enough for most people, Google said that they came to the number by measuring their own developers' usage patterns and then doubling that average to come up with the limits. The product taps the Gemini 2.5 Pro model, which is in the top tier on coding benchmarks, and it also has full MCP support. It's very clear that this is both a feature parity play to make sure that they have an offering that operates in this particular way, as well as Google flexing their pricing muscle. By way of example, Smitha Kolan, who does developer relations at Google Cloud, tweeted, "I used the new Gemini CLI and gave it only the YouTube link of a tech tutorial, and it set up the entire project for me perfectly. This is a massive win for productivity and builders everywhere." Meanwhile, over in Anthropic land, their announcement was adding a Replet/Bolt/Lovable style vibe coding experience directly into Claude's chat window. In a blog post titled "Build and Share AI-Powered Apps with Claude," they write, "Claude can now create artifacts that interact with Claude through an API, turning these artifacts into AI-powered apps where the economics actually work for sharing. Simply describe what you want to create, and Claude will write the code for you. Claude can help you debug and improve the experience, and then once it's ready, you can share it through a link with no deployment required. Other users can fork and customize artifacts creating what could be the start of a social layer around vibe coding. Now, one interesting thing about the announcement is that it blurs the line between traditional web apps and agentic workflows. The feature can be used to create games and apps, but also can be used to vibe code a type of basic agent. Basically, using natural language prompts, a user can ask Claude to stitch together multiple actions to complete more complex tasks. These artifacts can then be used over and over again in what becomes a very light way to get into agent architecture. Now, this idea of the lines blurring between software and agents has been on the mind of Replet CEO Amjad Masad. In a talk at VentureBeat Transform this week, he said that he believes software is going to become, as he put it, agents all the way down. He opened the talk by demonstrating how capable Replet has become, showing off a live polling app with databases, authentication, and quality checks that could be vibe coded in 15 minutes. Masad said, "This is sort of like an almost semi-autonomous agent. You can watch it, you can also go get coffee, and it'll send you a notification when it's ready to show you the future." Now, the place that everyone's mind goes with this is, does this change the way that we think about software in the future? Specifically, if it's this easy to build and deploy apps, do enterprises and companies continue to pay for expensive software, or do they just start to build their own apps that work in ways that are completely customized to them? At that same talk, Masad was asked if Replet could actually replace enterprise-grade tools, to which he responded that they're seeing customers have 3 orders of magnitude on savings on apps. The anecdote he shared was a Replet user who had claimed to use the platform to make a working version of ERP automation for just $400 instead of the $150,000 he was quoted by a vendor. Said Masad, "When you think about what the software does, a lot of Replet users wake up in the morning, they have a problem in their minds, and they create an app to solve that problem. The software agent will go and build software in order to solve that problem and will solve that problem for you." So what does this all mean for developers? Well, at one stage, an audience member asked about the importance of people learning to code for themselves, rather than just blindly accepting the AI suggestions. Masad responded that the platform can highlight any piece of code and give an explanation, effectively questioning whether that's still a real problem. Going further, he questioned what the vision actually is for AI coding, suggesting, "I think we're going to get to a point where you don't have to interface with the code. We're going to be able to interact with software on a higher level of abstraction." He did continue, "We need something a little better than English, somewhere in between code and English, and maybe someone will build that." Now, one upshot of all of this is that users of all different types are just writing a ton more code. The technical people have been talking about how much extra code they're writing all year thanks to the AI coding tools. Example, OpenAI's Aidan McLaughlin writes, "For what it's worth, 80% of my code is now written by Codex, and I'm writing a lot more code." Lightspeed partner Michael Mignano writes, "The irony is that so far, AI has recruited far more developers than it has eliminated. Everyone I know is coding right now. And what's more, the way that they're coding is getting more and more insane." McKay Wrigley of Takeoff AI posted his stack writing, "My workflow to spin up 3 coding agents at once. Type AI in terminal, launches Claude Code, Gemini CLI, and Codex CLI. Fully synced windows, prompt with voice, hit send and watch. Now Claude Opus 4, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and OpenAI O3 work on a task, and you pick the winner." And indeed, if I had to guess at one trend for where we're going to see vibe coding next, in addition to it coming to other areas like design, for example, people integrating app building with more direct UI creation, I think we're going to start to see versions of my Doctor Strange idea, but for coding. Basically, multi-agent systems that work in parallel, in some cases like the one that McKay shared, doing repeats of the same work so that users can pick the best version. Another example of this comes from Greg Kamrat from ArcPrize, who writes, "My new vibe coding setup. One orchestrator agent which controls 85 sub-agents working in parallel. Each sub-agent spawns from my stream of consciousness and tests from the main orchestrator." Jason Zhao writes, "Cursor for design? This Claude Code UI workflow is insane. 1, Claude Code can assign parallel tasks to sub-agents. 2, integrate with Git Worktree to create a sandbox environment. That means you can get Claude Code to generate 10 designs at the same time, fork, and iterate. Design is an explorative process. By leveraging sub-agent and parallel task capabilities, many interesting product user experiences can be built." And of course, I think the question for some is just how far can this go? In a recent A16Z blog post with Mark Andreessen and Eric Torenberg, the two shared a thought experiment of whether a non-technical founder armed with AI agents could outbuild a team of elite engineers. It's not clear exactly what the answer to that is now, but the fact that it's even a question shows just how much has changed in a matter of just months. Anyways, friends, I think it's fairly safe to say that we will continue our coverage of vibe coding platforms for now. Go try vibe coding directly in Claude and see how it works for you. That's going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief. Thanks as always for listening or watching, and until next time, peace.